Hi, Tom Morello. Oh my
Hello.
goodness.
Nice
Really
to see
nice to see you.
It's nice to see you as well.
So I'm Ario. I'm from Hard Rock FM, Jakarta, Indonesia.
Mhm.
And it's still in the morning, 10 a.m. in the morning here in Indonesia. So greetings from Indonesia. Hello.
Hello. Greetings to all of my Indonesian fans, friends, and comrades.
Ah, there you go. So would you mind to give like a shout out to all Indonesian fans?
Absolutely. I mean, let me just tell you this. When I played in Indonesia in
Mhm.
2019 with Prophets of Rage, it was really one of the highlights of my career. It's a country that I had always wanted to visit. I had heard about how passionate the fans were there. We got to spend a few days there, like doing some sightseeing. A friend of mine lived in Indonesia for years, so he gave us like not tourist places to go, and it was really great to meet a lot of the fans and to play a great show there with Prophets of Rage. I look forward to coming back soon. I'd like to thank all of the fans in Indonesia for all of the years, from Rage Against the Machines, Audioslave, Prophets of Rage, and my solo work through all those years. It's really been a pleasure. I've heard from you all from years, and it was great to play there in 2019. I hope to come back soon.
Well, I believe that all of your fans in Indonesia really miss you, and we really want you to come back to Indonesia and having your concert maybe. But yeah, as we all know that we're still in this pandemic kind of things.
Yeah.
What is your opinion about the pandemic to all of the musicians around the world?
Sure. Well, it's a difficult time, and really, I mean, the reason that we're here today is because I have this new record, the Atlas Underground Fire, which was made. It's a pandemic record. I mean, it was.
Okay.
I was locked down here, in my home and in my studio, with no shows coming for a year or more, and I don't really, I have a studio, but no engineer could come. I don't really know how to work the studio. So I ended up recording like all of these guitar parts for this album onto my phone. I just like put my phone
What?
in phone. 95% of the guitars on this record, the Atlas Underground Fire, were recorded into my phone. I read an article where Kanye West said that he had recorded vocals for a couple of his big hit records onto the voice memo of his phone. I was like, you can do that? and and I'm going to throw away all these expensive microphones because like it worked great. The guitar sounded fantastic. And so that for me was an outlet, and it really was a way to try to remain sane during a time where we're very concerned. We've got three generations here in my house: the grandmas who are older, the kids who are younger, and just keeping everybody alive and keeping everybody like from going crazy, including myself, was key. And for me, the lifeline was making music every day, and I was able to do it by just jamming out into my phone and then sending those riffs to producers and engineers all over the world. I mean, this record there's a lot of interesting collaborators on it, including Bruce Springsteen and Eddie Vedder, Bring Me the Horizon, Fantagram, Chris Stapleton, Grandson, Mike Posner, Damian Marley, Prototype, Femme, Refused, and Sama Abdul Hadi. So, from Palestine to Brazil to the UK to Sweden to New Jersey to Los Angeles, it was a real collaborative effort.
Well, that's a lot actually, and you can do it. Still can do it in the middle of this pandemic. That's
Yeah, that was for me. It was like I was really desperate. Like the first 4 months, since I was 17 years old, I've always been writing, recording, or playing shows my whole life until March of 2020, where all that just stopped. And for 4 months, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, and there was no way to be a musician anymore. And so that being able to collaborate with these one tremendous artist of very different genres, Chris Stapleton, who's a huge country and western star, Bruce Springsteen, a huge rock and roll star, Bring Me the Horizon, huge metal stars, Sama Abdul Hadi, a Palestinian DJ, with my guitar at the center, kind of like leading the charge through all of that. It really became a lifeline.
Okay. Let's jump into the other questions, and we're talking about your latest project with Bruce Springsteen and Eddie Vedder. Why did you choose this song for the first single of your upcoming album?
Sure. Well, Bruce and Eddie and I have a history with the song Highway to Hell. I was on tour. I toured with the E Street Band for on and off for about 6 years. We were playing in Perth, Australia, which is the home of Bon Scott, the singer of AC/DC. And I visited, I wanted to pay my respects to his grave. So I visited his grave. And then I went back to the hotel afterwards, and I saw Bruce in the bar. And I said, do you think that AC/DC and the E Street Band might overlap in any way? And he said, I never really thought about that before. So I said, well, if you do think about it, let me know. So we started rehearsing Highway to Hell at sound checks, and we ended up in Melbourne, Australia, at a big football stadium. And Eddie Vedder happened to be there because he was on a solo tour at the time. And I suggested to Bruce, here in Australia, where AC/DC is huge, the Kings, and where Highway to Hell is like the national anthem. What if we open the show with Highway to Hell with Eddie Vedder singing? And he was like,
wow.
that sounds like a good idea. So we did, and the place went absolutely crazy. I mean, you can't imagine how crazy. If you think you've seen an audience go crazy, you haven't until you've seen an Australian audience go crazy with us playing one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time, Highway to Hell, with two of the greatest rock and roll singers of all time, Bruce Springsteen and Eddie Vedder. So when I was making this record with a lot of young, exciting artists, I wanted to make like a historic record too. I want to make a historic track on this record. And I remembered that day on that stage, and I called up Bruce and Eddie, and fortunately they were into it.
Okay, so as I know, the fun fact is that you, Bruce Springsteen, and Eddie Vedder is already performed together several times in 2014 during Springsteen's Australian tour, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So could you share to Hard Rockers, to our listeners, of this?
Sure. Well, like I said, we opened that show there, but Bruce and Eddie and I have shared the stage a number of times. I'm a big fan of Pearl Jam, big fan of Bruce Springsteen. I think we're all kind of fans of each other, and so whenever we've been able to collaborate, it's been great. But it was a real magical moment when we played Highway to Hell together on that night, and I was like, honestly, it was one of the highlights that I've ever been seen at a concert, and I was like, I just want to try to capture some of that magic on this song.
Okay, so for the song, do you guys make it from your phone? I mean, like in
I recorded all of my guitar parts on my phone, right? And then I sent it off to producer Zach Cervini, who does like Bring Me the Horizon records and some other. And we put the track together. Then I crossed my fingers and sent it off to Bruce and said, "Hey, remember when we played this song 7 years ago? Remember, that was a good time. That was a great time, wasn't it? What do you think about doing it again?" And he was like, "Great." And he thought the track sounded great. He did 2 takes on it. Then I sent the version with Bruce to Eddie, and I was like, "We're 2/3 of the way there, brother. Like, what do you think?" And he was really happy to be a part of it too, because we all remembered that magic moment and wanted to recreate it on record.
So all I can say right now is something like, thanks to pandemic, because now we can hear the good song from you guys finally.
It never would have happened otherwise.
Yeah, true that. Okay, so anyway, it's really nice to see you, Tom Morello, because I think the time will up. Okay, but anyway, the last question. So after this album released, what is your next project? Would you mind to share to us?
Well, I'm not doing any touring on this for a while because I just don't know when it's going to be safe for bands, safe for crew, safe for fans to tour properly. So, we're doing a Rage Against the Machine tour of the United States in 2022, and right now that's the only thing that's on the books. And we'll see. Hopefully the world will be a healthier, safer place to play rock and roll. And I can't wait to get back to Indonesia to play there.
Oh, we all love to. So we really hope to see you soon, anytime soon. And is there any plan to make a virtual concert, maybe?
There's no plans for that. No plans for that currently. Okay. We will be making videos for all of the songs. That'll be exciting, but no plans for a virtual concert quite yet.
Okay, so thank you very much, Tom Morello, for having us here and talk to you directly, and hopefully all of your fans in Indonesia is gonna be like happy to hear all of the interview.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the time and for your thoughtful questions, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
Amen for that one. Okay, for the last one, would you mind to take a picture for our, like promotions kind of thing? Okay, in a count of 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, Tom Morello, thank you very much. I'll see you really soon.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.